What's up guys, Ninth Gym here, back with another guide video. Today we're going to be talking about Arcanine. This is a really solid Pokemon in the meta. Currently, it has fallen off a bit from previous gens. We are looking at a Pokemon that's always top 5 in the first series of a format, and now it's just shy of even being top 10, maybe even top 15. It is still a really good Pokemon, but it does lose a bit of its tools, as Intimidate is a bit weaker this generation, having the new item Clear Amulet, which Pokemon that are really afraid of Intimidate can just slap a Clear Amulet on and ignore that Intimidate. It also loses a little bit of viability due to Will-O-Wisp losing a bit of its viability in really strong physical attacking Pokemon potentially being able to Fire-type Terra to ignore Will-O-Wisp as well. So overall, Arcanine has fallen off a bit, but it's still a really good Pokemon. Arcanine still has a lot of offensive tools. It has things like Choice Band and Life Orb builds really taking advantage of it this format. And we also see Terra-type Normal with Extreme Speed happening, which is still really strong. So today we have 3 different builds, and all of them are pretty different in my opinion. And let's just jump right into it. Starting off with the first build, which is going to be an Eject button Grass-type Terra build. It is kind of defensive, but it doesn't have very defensive spread, as most of its defense is in its quick speed, a solid speed, and having Snarl and Will-O-Wisp to mitigate damage, as well as its built-in Intimidate. We have Eject button here, which is going to be solid for Intimidate, and then switching out and then having Intimidate back again later, and preferably allow you to use a Snarl or a Will-O-Wisp to mitigate damage even further with the Intimidate, and then getting hit, switching out, and then having another Intimidate later in the game. We have Terra-type Grass, which gives you a really good defensive Terra, being able to make your weaknesses to water and ground both resisted. As far as the moves go, we have Flare Blitz, Snarl, Will-O-Wisp, and Protect. Like I was saying, Snarl and Will-O-Wisp are both there for mitigating damage. Flare Blitz is our best offensive tool here. Stab, strong damage, physical attacking damage. As I said, Intimidate has really fallen off a lot in the meta. A lot of the time, Arcanines would take a Heat Wave route, and just due to the amount of Intimidate, making the Flare Blitz damage less than Heat Wave would be, but Flare Blitz is doing a lot of damage, so we're going with it. We also have Protect here because, it's good. We also have Eject button there, so Protect makes this a little bit more viable. You get to Protect, scope out a bit of stuff, they're going to target down your Arcanine, and then you get another attack next turn, and then Eject button, and it's just good. As far as the build goes here, it's pretty basic. I mean, as basic as it really gets. 252 spreads are ugly. I don't like them, but it works really well with this build. We want to max our speed, 252, to get those Snarl and Will-O-Wisp off as quick as possible, and then we just put the rest into our HP, just blanket the defense, and the leftover 4 into special defense. This could honestly go in a couple different places, but I like it the best in special defense. That's about it for this build. Not a lot more to say. I don't have any damage calcs because it's not really calced. It's really just max speed and max HP. The second build is going to be a Choice Band Terra-type Normal build that focuses on good damage here with Extreme Speed, Flare Blitz, Psychic Fangs, and Close Combat. It has a solid spread, and you actually have access to a lot of other coverage moves, things like Iron Head, Wild Charge, Play Rough, a lot of really good things. So this build is really versatile, while also being not incredibly versatile because Choice Band. Intimidate's still here to mitigate damage a little bit, but this is not taking quite as much as the bulky boy supportive role as the other builds are taking. Terra-type Normal is going to make our Extreme Speed just absolutely nutty, doing a lot of damage, giving us that +1 priority here on the Extreme Speed. 80 power on a stab with normal Terra-type. It's really good. You have Terra-type Normal also getting rid of our weaknesses to water and ground, which is really good on this Pokemon. Choice Band going to give us a +1 into attack, essentially, that 1.5 times, and lock us into our first move, which is typically going to be Extreme Speed, but we still do have Flare Blitz and, Psychic Fangs to break the screens. We also have Close Combat, which is just a really good coverage move in the meta currently. As far as the build here goes, it is really interesting. We have 252 into attack. I just wanted to do max damage with the Choice Band. Choice Band plus 252 plus attack on our Terra-type Normal Extreme Speed. This Extreme Speed is hitting hard, and that's the name of the game for this Arcanine, is to hit hard. Now, we have 60 HP and 4 special defense. The calc here has 83 to 99% damage from 252 plus attack with Life Orb. Now, it is -1 from the Intimidati, so that's pretty good. We have 60 HP and 4 defense, going to be able to live an Earthquake from that Garchomp without having to Terra out, which is a pretty crazy thing to think about here. We just really like that Calc, so I went with it. 60 HP and 4 defense. Gonna be pretty solid. And then I just wanted to pour the rest into speed. It's going to get us to 139, which isn't really hitting any incredible benchmarks, but still not bad. I just wanted to pour it into speed. It felt better to pour the rest into speed, even though we aren't hitting any really big benchmarks. I still just felt like it's not bad. We get to maybe outspeed some different things, which is just good. I felt like it was better here than defense. Maybe that's wrong. If you want to change that up, you can be my guest, but I'm not. Next, we have our last build, and this is the closest to the past builds where it would take a more defensive route with a berry and, you know, Intimidate, Snarl, Will-O-Wisp, what have you. We're not running that Heat Wave because of how low Intimidate usage really is, but the defensive nature of this Pokemon really lets us be pretty fast. It still has really good bulk, like, generically, and when you have a fast Pokemon using Snarl and Will-O-Wisp, you're still looking pretty good defensively. Of course, we have our Terra-type Grass here as well, which is looking really good in the meta, you know, positioning really well against those ground and water-type Pokemon, things like the Rotom, and, you know, you have Garchomp and all that kind of stuff. We have Terra-type Grass, Citrus Berry to just help us live a little bit longer. Intimidate, not changing. We have Flare Blitz, Snarl, Will-O-Wisp, Protect, similar to the first set, I believe the exact same. Snarl and Will-O-Wisp are both good, and since we're still 220 plus in speed, we're still pretty solid on speed. I'll show you a little bit of speed tiers here, and it'll explain this speed a little bit better as well. And yeah, not bad. We poured 252 into HP and then 20 into defenses. Here's our damage calc for this build. 252 HP, 20 defense is going to be living in Earthquake from a Clear Amulet, max attack Garchomp, 252 attack plus nature with the, you know, Adamant Nature. And Clear Amulet is still going to be doing 83 to 98%, and that's without our Intimidate mattering. You know, we can X out that ability, and it does not change. 83 to 98 because of the Clear Amulet. We're still living this, which means we don't even have to Terra out to live a Garchomp if it's Clear Amulet, which is a really, really big deal. Now, if it sets up Swords Dance on our face, well, we then got to worry maybe a little bit. But until then, we're looking pretty good. So 252 here, and then 20 into defense, and then we poured 220 plus into speed. This is going to let us hit 157. We're going to be able to outspeed all those base 90s, which is a really, really big deal. Being able to outspeed things like the Annihilate and the Flamigo, while also still hitting a lot of other things like the Rotoms, the Baxcalibur, and a couple other slower Pokemon like Gyarados, and looking really solid in that speed tier. So I really like the 220 plus here, being able to outspeed those base 90s. Yeah, that's really it. And then we poured the rest into bulk on that special defense. And then because of how the EVs work, we put the 4 into attack as well. I really like this build. This is the one that I think is probably my favorite of the 3. Of course, I like the eject button build. Of course, I like the choice band build as well. But this is the most tailored towards my playstyle of Arcanine, which is more so a defensive build, still having a lot of speed and just really working on that good Snarl and Will-O-Wisp while still not sacrificing bulk and stuff with the defensive Terra type as well. Let's cover one last thing here, options, which this Pokemon actually has a pretty good spread of options here. Let's talk about it. Heat Wave is a solid option in a very, very Intimidate heavy format. However, we're not in that, so I'm not really using Heat Wave on any of my builds, but it's still not bad. Play Rough, Crunch, Iron Head, Wild Charge, all as great coverage moves. You have the Fairy, Dark, Steel, and Electric, all really good. We also have Morning Sun to heal up a bit on weather teams, and even out of weather teams, it can be a good move for healing. I forget what it is out of weather. It's not much. It's like, I don't know, a citrus berry or something. It's not much. And then you have Helping Hand as well. So just a lot of different options. Arcanine is a really good Pokemon in this meta, and it's good in every meta. It's good in this one. It's great in all metas, but it's really just good in this one. It is a bit shy of that top 10, which I think is a little interesting because it's such a good all-around Pokemon, but Intimidate has just been heavily nerfed in this meta, and that's okay. I'm fine with that happening because it's been so long. I mean, we've been plagued with strong Intimidate Pokemon all of VGC. All of it. I mean, ever since it was introduced, really. So, you know, cool to see a break. Anyway, that is going to be it for the video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Mostly subscribe. And all of these builds are going to be in the description down below. You can just copy, paste it, put it into Play Showdown, Play.Showdown, get going. Have a good day. Goodbye.